So if there was a tournament in your area that had no winners, no losers, no podium to stand on, no hands raised, would you compete in that jiu-jitsu tournament? Or do you think it has any value? I'm asking this because we've got a question from our buddy Fausty here who says, he's from Ontario, Canada, and this is the province where apparently prize fighting became illegal, and they classed jiu-jitsu as prize fighting, which I think is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous to ban prize fighting at all and to class jiu-jitsu as prize fighting. I mean, first off, to fight is to be human, right? I think that's a human thing, and I think it's silly to ban that. Maybe some of you guys are from that area and you have more information on why that is, so you can comment down below to fill me in. Otherwise, the first tournament, since the law was put into place, had no medals, no hands raised, and no podium, and this was to avoid being classed as prize fighting. His question is, what do you think about this tournament? Are medals and trophies a big deal in your opinion, or should people be grateful for having tournaments at all? So Fausty, thanks for the question, dude. And I'm going to sort of answer your question in two parts. One, are medals and trophies a big deal? And two, are tournaments worth doing, right? Like, are these kind of tournaments where there's no winner or loser, are they even worth doing? Because, if you say they are, then maybe they should be grateful. If they're not, then maybe they shouldn't be grateful. So I think it sort of answers that question. So as far as medals and trophies, are they a big deal? Well, not really, man. Like, I don't think that people are competing for medals and trophies, right? So if you went to a tournament and you were giving a participation medal, right? You showed up and you were the only person in your division and someone put a gold medal around your neck, would that mean anything? No, you wouldn't be satisfied with that. You didn't go through any challenge to get it. There was no wins and losses to sort of that medal symbolized. It was just, here you go. Here's a piece of junk. And they are junk, right? Like, they don't have any tangible value outside of our community. They only mean something because we think they mean something, right? If I try to take that damn medal and sell it to someone, then nobody wants it, right? And then if I was to take the most recent world champion, the most recent EBI champion, take their award that they were given to symbolize their win, take it and burn it, right? Smash it, destroy it, burn it, and it's no longer here. Does that take anything away from them? No, they're still the champion. They still won. I can't take that away from them. And so I think that the reasons why people compete, I believe, is that they're chasing status and distinction, right? They want to raise their status amongst their peers, right? And amongst everyone else. They want to distinguish themselves as the winner amongst their group, right? To say that they were the best in that class, right? You say, I beat you, you, and you. I'm the best here today. I think that's what it's about. Now, there's another driving force too. I think that another driving force is the inner satisfaction that comes with putting yourself in a challenging experience, regardless of the outcome. Because I know that I've had several students over the years who would compete after years and years and years of being nervous to do so, right? Because they were so nervous, they finally drummed up the courage to do it, and they lost. But they were still really satisfied because they finally had the courage to step out there and do it, even though they were nervous, and they realized that they had it in their wheelhouse to do so later on, and they started to compete following that, and they did really well. So again, they changed who they were to do that. Now, getting into whether or not it's worth doing, right? So we say medals and stuff are not worth it. It's more of what they're chasing is, the other things, right? Now, to say, like, are they worth it? Well, I mean, I guess there would be some value because you get to compete or you get to roll with someone. I'm not going to say compete because you're not really competing. You get to roll with someone that you're not used to. You get to sort of be in front of some people. But I think you could probably get the same effect from an open mat. I think that when you do this with a tournament, when you take away that win and loss, you take away a lot of the stress and the nervousness involved, and you take a lot of the incentive away, right? Competing and changing who you are a lot of times is a painful experience, right? When I was a kid and I got into wrestling competitions, it was painful because I was a fat, out-of-shape kid who had no confidence in himself and been bullied. And so for me to get into wrestling, to get myself into shape, to work out hard, to eat the right foods so I lost the weight, to get down to a lower weight class, to get into my initial matches and tournaments and get smashed only to get back up, to get injured only to get back up, and to keep pushing myself forward. That was a painful thing. It was a painful experience, and it took a hell of a lot of work. And the only reason I was willing to do that was because I was chasing a meaningful goal, right? And that meaningful goal was related to status and distinction, right? Because again, I had all these buddies of mine that were winning, and I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a winner like them. So I kept pushing myself up so I could stand with them, right? I could stand with them and be one of the winners. I was chasing that. And if that meaningful goal was not there, like if wrestling tournaments did not have winners and losers, I doubt that I would have really dove into it and really would have pushed myself and become a different person in the process. I think that if you were to take away, like, let's say the World Championships, take away, or the ADCC, whatever you want to do, right? Whatever tournament you're interested in, take away the win and the loss as a possibility, right? No one wins, no one loses. You just go out there and kind of, roll, I guess. Well, if you do that, well then you take away one of the valuable things to it. Because you think anybody's going to like train like they do because if they can't win, right? No one's going to get out there and like really work that hard. They're not going to push themselves to the limit. They're not going to go through all the nastiness that's associated with it. They just won't do it. And if they do it, it's not going to have the same satisfaction as it would otherwise. And I think that one of the value of competitions is that it changes who you are, because when you compete and you win something big, and this is true for jiu-jitsu, this is true for outside of jiu-jitsu, anytime you chase after a meaningful goal and you achieve that meaningful goal, you reach it, especially sometimes when you didn't think you could, you realize that you were the person that made that thing possible, right? You forged yourself into the person that could win those things. You became the person that could win the tournament. You became the person that could win the black belt. You became, or be awarded the black belt. You could be the person that did, insert whatever that thing is. And I think that when you take away that winner loser aspect of tournaments, I think you take away that meaningful goal, the meaningful goal. And why that's important is, as we said, to go through these experiences, to chase something that's meaningful, a lot of times is very painful. It's tough. It's not easy. And in order for humans to have some sort of like reason to go through all that nastiness, they have to have an incentive, because we all know that humans, we're all guilty of this. When we're faced with a situation that we don't want to do, a lot of times we shy away from it unless we have a reason that we want to go for it, right? And if there's no meaningful goal for us to chase on the exterior, we don't have the ability to chase after it, which again creates the sort of the intangible change in us. I'm all over the place with this one. So, are they worth it? I don't really think so. I don't think that it's worth doing a tournament if there's no win and loss. Now, maybe I don't know anything about this tournament, so maybe it's structured a certain way where maybe they just don't hand raise, but they're winners, losers somehow. But if you're just saying you're competing with no winner, no loss, I just don't think it's really valuable anymore, because I think you take away the whole thing that makes the tournament what it is, which is there's something on the line. So yeah, guys, I'm interested to see what you guys think. If you have a comment, throw it down below. I'd love to see what you guys think about the situation. And Fosty, thanks for the question.